Sometimes there will be packages at the door. We'll put them inside for the owner. But usually the name matches up with the owner. I was at a vacant home doing some pictures inside, and mail carrier came and dropped off 3 envelopes. And I thought, well, that's kind of strange because nobody's lived here for over a year.
Well, we actually start getting multiple calls and reports of people saying, hey, I got EDD mail showing up at my address.
Mailboxes across the Sacramento area have been stuffed with letters from the EDD.
Going through them, I see EDD, EDD, EDD.
Some houses got 70 cards sent to them.
All of these crazy incidences of clear fraud.
You know, all of a sudden I said that there was a lottery.
$11.4 billion in fraud.
I did the swiping for EDD. Go to the bank, get a stack at least.
I was pretty sure that the fraud was at least $1 billion.
This is a gargantuan problem.
This is white-collar crime. It's easy money.
Thank you, everybody. I have long believed that the future is not just something to experience, it's something to manifest.
The governor's office and the California Department of Public Health now advising that all of
the U.S. preparing for a possible coronavirus outbreak.
Northern California on heightened alert today.
This is a moment we need to make tough decisions. There's a recognition of our interdependence that requires of this moment that we direct a statewide order for people to stay at home. That directive goes into force and effect this evening.
Oh, it's so heartbreaking. These stories that my staff are telling me, the people that are completely reliant, they have nothing, and they were laid off through no fault of their own, completely because of government direction that this is the way it's got to be for our own good, right? And so they relied on some subsidy, some way to continue their life.
I'm a freelance writer for magazines and newspapers. I've authored and published about 8 books so far. I've got a couple more in the pipeline. And when we don't have COVID restrictions, I do a lot of public speaking. Because businesses were shut down and restricted, that's the bread and butter to pay guys like me to write for your publication. So that's what knocked out the wind out of my sails for all of last year and still going on today.
What we saw was a simultaneous wave of 2 things. One, a wave of people who legitimately needed their unemployment.
Every day across the state, millions of Californians pick up the phone, scour the website, and hope to get answers from EDD about their unemployment benefits.
I got hung up on, or the system's down, and then there's times I call and it's not down. And it's just so frustrating.
Every time I tried to reapply, it said, you can't. So now I get into the phone calls, which never work.
Welcome to the Employment Development Department's Unemployment Insurance Online Assistance Center.
So KCRA3 Investigates tried to call EDD too. We called the new phone line several times today.
We're currently receiving more calls than we can answer and are unable to assist you at this time. Please try again later.
And they could not get it and could not talk to people and get it resolved. That was one big wave.
We were hearing from desperate constituents who were having trouble putting food at the table, trying to decide whether to pay the rent or pay the groceries, were depleting their life savings, going to an extreme debt, and were incredibly desperate.
Almost simultaneously, we started seeing a big wave of these envelopes by the dozens showing up in people's mailboxes.
I put out an email to a group of realtors that I know, and I said, is this an unrelated happening, or have you guys seen it too? I was amazed at the response I got. There was quite a few agents that said, yeah, I was in a home yesterday where there was a stack of mail there from the EDD with various names.
When Crystal Campagna opened her mailbox Tuesday evening, it was stuffed.
Pulling out all this mail, that's a lot of bills. And going through them, I see EDD, EDD, EDD.
I've been working on fraud and mail fraud and bank fraud and wire fraud cases for 10 years now, and EDD benefits have always been one of the things that are valuable in the mail. And if mail thieves come across EDD benefits, I've certainly seen those get exploited for many years now.
There was a case where an agent responded to my email, and I asked him if he could go back to the house and get the letter so we could turn them in to the authorities. And when he went back there, he said, well, they were no longer there. Somebody had broken the window, gotten into the house, and taken those letters. About then, I got a call from Assemblyman Patterson's office asking, have I seen this happening? I said, yeah, I'm starting to see it happening.
Individuals at a single-family residence who would have a dozen show up in their mailbox to different names at that address. And people receiving them actually became a bit frightened and a bit concerned.
Because of the break-ins and such, just some safety precautions, like taking some PVC pipe, cutting it to fit, placing it there.
When was your first indication with all these letters? Do you remember when it all started for you guys?
Yeah, it was late February, early March of last year. We got some notifications. People said they were getting multiple letters from people who had never lived at that residence, and they want to know what to do with the letters. And we asked them to bring them to our office, because we wanted to collect them, because we were going to follow up on them. That was the very beginning. Okay, so you're saying I don't have access?
I said read.
You don't have to be rude about it.
I'm not being rude.
I know how to read,
I'm not being rude. I didn't say anything. I said this is what it says.
They wouldn't even let me go in to access the people. The security people wouldn't even let me in. I'm an elected official, not that I should be treated differently, but I represent 500,000 people, so let me help you, right? Communicate. And it didn't happen.
Amy Brooks has been waiting on her own unemployment benefits, and so far, the only money she's received doesn't belong to her.
I'm now holding 3 different debit cards for somebody who may or may not have a claim. I don't know how 22 pieces of mail, all to the same address with different people's names on it. I don't know how that gets past somebody.
We tried to reach out to EDD, didn't get a response. Or we heard that EDD was telling folks to just get rid of the letters or to mail them back to EDD, just answers that didn't make any sense to us.
EDD's statement to us today also mentioned that you can file a fraud report on their website if you've received one of these letters. The agency hasn't given us a specific number of how many of these letters are out there, so we have no idea right now how widespread this fraud is or how much money has been lost.
Some houses got 70 cards sent to them. That should be a flag that someone should have said, oh, this is a problem. We got 70 EDD cards going to a house that's only occupied by 2 people.
Then what did the governor's office have to say about this, Brian?
Nothing, really. I mean, just to give you the short answer, Golston, nothing. I reached out to 2 of the governors.
Initially, we would follow proper protocol would be to say, hey, you need to contact EDD. They have their own law enforcement investigations division. They are the custodian of records. They have control of all records that we would need in this case. Then we started hearing people weren't getting anybody there. The phone would ring off the hook. They just weren't able to contact anyone there. So that's when we started stepping in at first just to kind of see what was going on. We made some calls over to EDD that we weren't able to get a hold of anybody. We actually had city residents, Riverside residents, that were being accosted by people. So imagine the suspect or suspects would show up at folks' homes and say, hey, I think you got my mail, some EDD mail. And if they didn't turn over that mail, the folks would get kind of loud, almost threatening at times. And that's when we said, okay, we need to intervene. We need to do something here because we can't have our citizens being accosted by folks.
A lot of burglaries happen in the middle of the day. During the pandemic, people have been home, so we were getting reports of mail theft, throughout the day, really. But the alarming increase is in the number of carriers who are being stopped on the streets while they're delivering mail and being robbed, either at gunpoint or with threats or physical force. And that's just unacceptable.
These are the letters right here that we received in about 1 month. This is my district alone. I was getting stonewalled, and I wanted to show them how severe this problem is. In my district alone, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these letters that are accumulating tens of thousands of dollars that are going fraudulently. And we have this frustration of this segment of our population that can't get anything.
What is your understanding of how widespread this fraud may be? And also, what's your reaction to the call from some legislators for a swift emergency audit of EDD to better understand the scope of this fraud problem?
Yeah, we've got a brand new team, 5 new people we just put into place at EDD just in the last few weeks. So 5 new people with fresh perspective, new capacity to get in under the hood and figure this out.
So there was a guy who put a rap video together about how easy it was to get money from EDD, right?
It was like, oh my God, this is pathetic.
But you're the dumb ones that are going to do that stuff and brag about it. And he did. I saw the video. He's bragging about ripping off EDD. That is brazen. That is brazen. And these guys, they don't care.
I just been swiping for EDD. Go to the bank and stack at least. This shit here better than selling peas. I made some bread that I couldn't believe.